Hey guys, and welcome to Sounds Like NYC episode 60. Our next guest is a visual artist from Queens, New York, who draws influence from the cartoons he grew up watching in his surroundings of New York City. Please welcome Eugene.
Yo, what up, what up? How you guys doing today?
Doing fine.
Did you get close to the mic?
I can get close to the mic. I don't want to...
No,
you're
you're
not supposed
fine.
to get too close to the mic.
No, you're good. But thank you for coming on. And we were talking about your art before, and just our first impression of it was it's weird.
Yeah. What's up with that? Why is it so weird?
Man, I guess I'm just a weird guy, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, I went to an art high school, so I just saw different artists doing different things. And it's like the way I was drawing at 14, it's like my shit ain't distinct, so I had to find a way to make it unique. So.
Gotcha. Did you go to school here in the city?
Yeah, I went to high school of art and design in Manhattan.
Oh, no way. I went to an internship with a bunch of those guys.
Okay.
The studio in the school thing a while back.
When was that?
Must have been, when was I a junior? 2017?
Oh, I was long gone by then. I was long gone.
There's some Bloomberg shit that was going on.
Yeah, no, it sounds like some Bloomberg shit. But
yeah, some cool guys over there. It seems like a pretty cool school to be a part of.
I mean, when I was going there, it was just artsy weirdos and hood rats. So it was like something constantly entertaining every fucking day.
Same, like a facade.
No, it
every
was.
day there was something entertaining.
No, in our high school, it was just hood rats and people who thought they were artsy but really weren't. They were just fake deep.
What high school was that?
Williamsburg High School for Architecture and Design.
Oh, I didn't even know about that school. The same thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, architecture and design, so we mostly studied drafting and 3D modeling and stuff like that. But most people that were there didn't even want to do that. I got zoned to that school. I didn't get zoned, but it was the last school on my list, and it was the only school that accepted me. So I was I was pissed for the first semester being there, because I'm I don't want to be here. I don't want to study design and whatnot. But
I mean, I feel like once you're in the school, you find your way around.
Exactly.
I don't know. For me, I feel like as New Yorkers, you don't make, people say you make your friends for life in college. I feel like it's more in high school. You make your friends for life.
Yeah.
Because you go elsewhere and then you start saying lingo and fucking all that. I remember I went to LA and I was saying dead ass. And none of them knew what dead ass was. I was just like, dead ass, don't know what dead ass means? Dead ass?
Yo, that's interesting.
And you know what's fucking crazy though? Right now, more and more, with this whole TikTok shit, everyone's trying to steal our fucking slang and shit.
I mean, it's just natural, man.
Mm-hmm. Listen, when you're best city in the world, people try to copy you.
It's from Philadelphia. That's a Philly slang.
I didn't know that.
What's it?
That's a Philly slang.
What is?
I didn't know.
Yo.
Yo?
Saying
yo, yeah.
That's from Philly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What, are you looking up right now or something?
No, well, I'll believe him. I'll take him at face value, but who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about Philly?
Who gives a fuck? Where everyone's using John or whatever?
Yeah.
Philly.
Interesting. I didn't know, because I know Philadelphia generally has history when it comes to early rap and hip hop and stuff like that. To a certain point.
And all that.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't know they invented the word yo. That's great.
Yo, and then
what did it?
Back with graffiti, the first guy getting up was Cornbread from Philadelphia in the '60s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dude, so how do you know this stuff?
Man, I'm just the type of dude I'll watch something that interests me and just soak it in my brain.
Okay.
You get deep into it.
Yeah.
It's just how my brain works. If I'm interested in the subject, my brain will soak it up. If I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
In and out.
I understand. Yeah. So you were talking about so you went to college in Los Angeles.
Did film school, was a mistake. If I could go back in time, no, honestly, if I could go back in time, I'll go straight to trade school, get myself a license. Cause that's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing now. I've been working a trade and then doing the art here and there as a side hobby.
Okay, nice. So
where did you go to school in LA?
New York Film Academy. Real waste of time though. I don't recommend anyone.
So you went to New York Film Academy.
They had a campus in New York.
Los Angeles?
I did my first year in New York, and my second year I had to go to LA. I mean, it was cool, but then I'm a 19-year-old kid, coming from Queens, never had to drive, so I go to LA, thinking I got public transportation. I can't go nowhere, and I got a crazy alcoholic roommate. I had gray hair since I was 19 from living with this alcoholic roommate. I don't want to get into those stories, but
oh man, that sounds like a fun set of stories, but
it is. I mean, it's more of a learning experience. I learned a lot that day.
Yeah,
I learned a lot then.
Why do you think going to film school is such a mistake?
For me, it's just my personality. Like, I tried working in that field afterwards, but also at the time I was like 22, 21, wasn't as confident as I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I just had bad experience with producers. I had producers think I'm a drug dealer just because the job I had, my day job, was a cash-only business.
Oh.
So I had a large amount of cash on me, and this guy was overpaying for weed. I'm just like, dude, why are you paying so much for weed? And the guy just, dude, you're a drug dealer. I'm just like,
Come on, bro, you gotta learn. Come on.
I mean, at that point, you should get drugs and just sell to him. I mean, that just sounds like a client.
But yeah, I don't know, that shit stinks, yo.
Yeah.
It stinks, and I'm living with my folks at the time, so yeah.
Yeah. So, like, would you say that you prefer kind of like the culture of like New York to like LA, or like what like differences have you seen?
I mean, yo, I'm like a fourth generation New Yorker. Like my family, they landed in Brooklyn. They went to Brooklyn, never left that island. Went from Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island. So it's like my roots in my family is linked in New York.
Right.
So I'm definitely a New Yorker through and through. Like if I leave the tri-state, I have an accent. But now definitely the culture here it's different. It's more fast-paced, uppity. But LA has that like laid-back, chill. Like the way they look at culture, like music and stuff like that, is completely different in movies. You can have a different type of conversation and vibe out there. Like if I'm out there, I ain't getting shit done. I'm just gonna be partying. Compared to out here, it's like you gotta be on your grind. You can have fun, but you can't just constantly be having fun.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that seems what like everybody says generally. Just like LA is like chilled, laid back, and like New York, you gotta work, you gotta survive over here compared to like other places. But like speaking of that, do you think kind of like life in New York has like affected your art in a way that it's like very out there, or like very, I don't know, there's a certain type of like very bombastic energy to your art. So do you think, obviously,
Is it New York art?
Yeah, is it New York art? I
mean,
guess.
I am from New York, so by default, it is New York art. But when I was younger, I used to do the quote bubbles. I would incorporate slang and all that. But now I try to step away from that because I don't want people to think the jokes is the artwork. It's the art itself. The way I do art, and I consider it very New York. In a way, it's like the way I do line work. You can say I drew from Keith Haring and how he did line work, and different stuff and this and that. But definitely for sure, I'd say my artwork's very New York.
Awesome, yeah.
I'm from New York, so whatever I do is gonna be New York. Like,
yeah. That's great. Like,
what do you feel about all these like transplants coming in?
It's how it's always been.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, it's annoying, but like let's really think back about it and look back at it. That's how it's always been.
Right.
Okay, the Lenape Indians, then the Dutch came, the first transplant, then the British came, second transplant, then the Germans, the Italians, the Irish, the fucking Great Migration, the all this and that. There's always constantly people coming in and out of New York because it's a port city. So it's just always gonna be like that. The only difference now is that you're not seeing people leaving a bad situation to make a better life. You're seeing people leaving a good situation to try and make another good situation here.
Right.
That's what I feel is going on now.
Really, cause I feel, especially because of like everything that's going on this year, it's just like people leaving a bad situation to go back to like their good situation that they like always had, and they kind of have like a security blanket of like going back to their parents' house and stuff like that.
No, that is definitely true what you're saying about right now, the current situation. I was talking more so before all the craziness happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, New York's gonna bounce back. It always does.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, New York at its toughest point was like the 70s, the 80s.
Exactly.
And it bounced back harder than ever. You might disagree with how it was able to bounce back.
Right.
But it did. Like.
I mean, that's sort of my thing. Like, I don't really care if people are moving here from like another city or whatever. That's fine. But the thing is, like, when you come into like my city and then you try to educate me about it.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. and then those are the same ones that are bitching about like how New York City is dead.
Shut the fuck up with that shit. Not you. Them.
No, yeah.
You know what gets me, man? Like, when I drink, like, the New York comes out of me more than ever. Like, I'll start using slang, my accent gets thicker. And I'll be drinking, and one of these transplants come over, it's like, I like what you said, I'm straight talking like you. If I'm talking to someone that's out of New York, and they text me, I bet, I'm just like, Like, talk to me like I'm a normal human.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's slang, but just like, I know you don't talk like that.
Yeah.
Don't switch it up for me.
Yeah. Dude, that's so. I've never had anybody. That's the first time like I've like heard something like that before. Like that's just funny, you know. Just like somebody kind of like coming up to you like that, and just like.
I mean, this is an extreme example. It's like a white dude talking jive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like it's a little extreme, but kind of along the lines of like that.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah. So like talking about kind of like your experience like as an artist in New York City, like have you had like opportunities like kind of like exhibition style to like present your art or?
I've done it where I've shown my work in other people's shows,
Mm-hmm.
and for a minute it was cool because I was doing shit, no hanging fee, all that, this and that. It was cool, and then for 2 years, me and a group of friends started throwing our own shows, and that one felt really rewarding. Because one thing that gives me a pet peeve of when I'm getting invited to do shows and when I see a hanging fee.
Okay.
Like recently, I got invited to do some gallery show in the Lower East Side, and they wanted $150 just to hang a small painting.
Oh.
And it's like, I'm not gonna pay $150 just to bring up my painting, which I'm most likely not gonna sell right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe get 10 followers and pay $150 just to bring my painting back home.
Right.
It don't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did like is when we was throwing our own shows, our main focus was to not charge a hanging fee.
Mm-hmm.
Just give an option for all artists that we grew up with and all that. Because I went to North High School, so I put a lot of people I went to high school with on.
Oh, that's
they
cool.
told their friends, because a lot of them went to FI community, they put them on. So we had a nice collective going, but unfortunately, due to events, we had to.
Right.
It wasn't COVID, it was other stuff before that, but
Yeah.
just too much turmoil going on, because it adds up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, do you feel cause like exhibitions, art shows always seem to be like so bougie, like how like what has been your experience, kind of like the culture, like the air of the art shows or like exhibits that you have been to?
I've never really been a part of a bougie one. Every one I've kind of been is like, I'll kind of like call like New York garage,
Yeah.
like
Oh, okay,
art shows,
cool.
which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love. I love
Yeah.
doing stuff like that because you always meet great people at those things.
Yeah.
Like bougie shows I never really got invited to because I feel like my art doesn't reach
Isn't
that
bougie.
crowd.
Yeah.
It doesn't appeal to that crowd so much so as a different crowd. But I don't know, I've had a whole bunch of different experiences with the fucking art world in the past. Like, I've been kind of on a hiatus with shows, because I come to realize, okay, I'm going to do it if they don't charge me a hanging fee, and if they do, I'm not doing it. Because I'd rather just put some money together and host a show myself.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I did that for my 24th birthday. I did a solo show.
Okay, nice. Oh yeah, I saw it on your Instagram maybe.
Yeah.
It was okay, cool.
Yeah, I did a solo show and all that. So it's like, instead of me putting that money for your event,
Yeah.
I can put the money into myself and invest in myself.
Yeah.
Like, with that gallery situation, I understand, you opened an art gallery, not the most profitable thing. Everything's getting shut down. Of course, you're going to charge an absurd amount of price.
Right.
Since I'm not a dummy and I'm not that desperate.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I see.
Like, in your opinion, like, what makes a good sort of show, both for like the artists and then also for like people coming in?
Good show. The artwork's got to be good. A lot of variety, for sure. So that way, everything you look at is something different.
Right.
Because there's been times where I've been to shows and I see a bunch of artists doing the exact same stuff. Like, I'll do this piece for a Basquiat crown on it. Like, you see it a lot. Like, a lot of stuff, a lot of cliches.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it different. Having a good DJ helps a lot. Because if people get tired of the art, they can listen to music and enjoy.
Right.
Alcohol helps a lot, too.
Always.
And then I feel like it's always good in art shows. It's always nice to have some live performances, too. So you can bring people in for different reasons.
So like multimedia, not just
Multimedia, but as a whole, it's an art show.
right.
So there's different things going on within that art show.
Gotcha. And for like the artist, like what would be sort of terms that you'd like to see with something like that?
The artist, I mean, I'm simple. Just don't charge me to hang my stuff. But I don't know. I feel like every artist is different. Some artists might be, for me, I have a good show. I want to sell a painting. Like everyone's different. Like for me personally, if I'm having a good time at the show, I meet a few good people, I'm good.
Yeah. So like so what is the process of kind of like selling your art to somebody that you like think might be like interested in a certain piece? Like kind of like, do you have to like haggle or kind of be almost kind of like a real estate agent, kind of like?
Me, what I tend to do is I realize most people are cheap.
Good to know. Yeah, definitely
Most
good to
people
know.
are cheap. It's like, some people be like, my brother tried to fix me up with a commission. He's like, yeah, I'm telling 300. It's like, bro, just tell him 100 and I'll do it. Because I'd rather just get it done with, get that pocket money, and be good. But like, once you get over a certain price, people just not gonna be interested.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much they want it, the price is too high, they're not gonna do it. Art is like an elitist world when it comes to selling art. Everyone thinks it's all high value, but if you're not a name or a star or whatever, you're not gonna get that money.
Yeah.
Like that much. Like, I've seen art shows where someone's selling like pretty amateur work and they're asking for $400. It's like, you're insane. No one's gonna buy that.
I think with anything, it's more about brand than it is about the actual work.
No, of course. It's about the story.
Yeah.
Like, if the artist behind the artist work can be trash, but the story is good,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like, think about most artists, it's a story. Like, Vincent Van Gogh, he cut off his ear. The story of Van Gogh is interesting. The story of Caravaggio is interesting. The story of Keith Haring is interesting, you know? John Michael, I can't even say Basquiat, man. I'm looking up his name right now. Oh my God, I feel bad about that. But it's all about the story more than anything. Like, the reason why Basquiat painting goes for so high is because there's so little. So it's all about the narrative.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, speaking of narrative, there's like two questions I want to ask you, but the first one is like, what is the narrative behind your work? Like, do you have some sort of like overarching theme or narrative, or is it just what comes to your mind and you just produce it?
It's sometimes what comes to my mind, but recently when I try to paint stuff, I try to think of blocking and all that, like kind of like how you a cinematographer will do with the blocking. So try to incorporate elements of a story into the piece, you know? But it's all really random. Like, I've been on kind of like a painting drought for a while, but it's like that. It goes in cycles. Like, 1 minute, I'm creating 3 paintings in a week. Next, it might be 4 weeks till I create something new. But it's just, once an idea, if I have an idea and it hits me and it's really good, my main priority is going to go home and get this on canvas.
Right.
Got it.
Cool.
But it's all a process. I can't say exactly which way it goes.
Yeah.
And all that.
Okay.
Right.
I think now would be a good time
Yeah,
to kind of like show some of your art pieces. And are there like any specific ones that you want to have us like slideshow?
Yeah, I can show you them after we're done with this.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
sounds good.
Actually, let me see. Let me pull-
Yeah, you can show us some now and be good.
pull my phone real quick.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess, do I do the boop?
You got to do the boop.
Boop. All right, hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Sounds Like NYC. And if you're watching this on video, you would have seen that we've posted or like did a slideshow of a bunch of Eugene's art. And out of the art that you showed us, is there like any one of them that like really resonates with you, or like anyone that you like really want to talk about?
Definitely the quarantine pieces, just because of the time when everyone was just staying at home. Like, I wasn't working for like a month and 2 weeks, so I was just constantly just in my room looking at the same stuff over and over again, for sure.
Yeah.
The Coming America piece is one of my favorite movies. I'm from Queens, so if you've seen the movie,
Yeah.
you know. But landscapes is something I used to do a lot when I was younger. When I was a kid, I used to do landscapes with pastel, and I was drawing like realistically back then, like 10 and 11. So it's nice I'm able to fuse what I'm doing now with what I was doing in the past.
Okay.
And the sketches are just something I do when I'm bored. I think I did that one at work when there was like dead time.
Yeah.
Like, that's like stuff like that when I try to incorporate my humor.
No, do you want to
see
like
this
read
one?
it off?
So I was like, hey, blessed morning. I would like a bacon, egg, and cheese, please. Just because he said that, $8.
Okay, so what's like...
Honestly, if I run a deli and someone said some shit like that to me in the morning, like, $9. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
that kind of like falls into like the stereotype of kind of like New Yorkers being like rough and gruff and stuff like that.
You know
So
what made me
like,
think about? You know what made me come with that? You know, on Instagram they show sponsored contents. I saw some shit like Williamsburg sausage, egg, and cheese, $6.50.
That's fucking
God damn them to hell.
Yo, I actually got a fucking I got a theory on like bacon, egg, and cheese and coffee.
Yeah.
So like if bacon, egg, and cheese and coffee costs more than like let's say $3.50, it's gentrified.
I mean,
I'll say $4.
No.
I think $4 is like the upper threshold.
No, I can still get.
It depends what neighborhood you're at. Like if you're in a rougher neighborhood and you're paying $4, questionable. But if you're in a nice neighborhood and you're paying $4, good deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Good deal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like after that $4 mark, it just like that's a gentrification point.
Yeah, no.
That's my theory.
If the sandwich costs more than $4, no.
Okay, so since we're on the topic of like bacon, egg, and cheese, so bacon, egg, and cheese. So like between kind of like a Hispanic bodega and like a Arabic one, like which one do you guys prefer?
Hispanic.
Nah.
Well, you're
100%.
Mexican, so
No, okay.
Yeah.
My bodega, I don't know what they are. Okay. The guy who blesses the food, he's some cat from Corona, so he's definitely Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he got the touch. But the owners themselves, I don't know who they are, but
yeah.
they got a $5 breakfast platter.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh shit.
Yo, eggs, any style you want. Breakfast meat of your choice. Hash browns, home fries, or
Toast?
or French fries, and toast. $5.
I'm gonna ask you the name of it after the interview, just so like people listening don't know about it.
That deli I talked about, Continental Luncheonette on Metropolitan Avenue.
Got it. Ooh,
Yo,
that sounds
that's the
good.
spot in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I can't order from there from 8:30 to 9:30. They can't order there.
How come?
The construction guys come through and they order like 40 bacon, egg, and cheese. So it's like you gotta.
Dude, nothing is more. It's funny because like bacon, egg, and cheese is like only iconic to like New Yorkers. Like nobody else. Like you know. But like yeah, dude, like a bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning with your like Arizona. That's just like a
That's
memory.
breakfast
That's just
from
like
like
an
elementary
image.
school to high school.
Yeah, just like ingrained into my head.
Yeah.
Yo, my way of telling if a deli is good, are there construction workers and are there cops there?
Wait. Explain that one. Yeah.
Yo, construction workers, there's always one guy who has to go there and they gotta order like 40 fucking things. If it's a whack deli, they're not gonna order 40 whack bacon, egg, and cheeses. They're gonna go to the good deli.
Yeah.
Cops too. They're out there all over the fucking neighborhood. They know which spot's good and which spot's bad.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, it's very easy to get a bad sandwich.
That is true, yeah. I mean, what's like the worst bacon, egg, and cheese or like sandwich you've gotten from like a like? Do you remember that day?
The free school lunch, the powdered eggs, the Canadian bacon.
Oh man, that's taking me.
Yo, I miss the
back.
pizza though.
Which one? The triangle pizza? Or
No, like
Novak circle pepperoni?
yeah.
Oh, that circle pepperoni was great, yo.
No, but the triangle was terrible.
No, I never had that one.
No, the terrible was the weird
Oh,
rectangle. That you can turn to like a crocodile.
Yeah.
Pull the cheese off. Like, oh.
That was terrible. Yeah, cause like at high school we like barely got the bagel pieces or like the circle pieces, which are the best.
No, I think the city got rid of that. They got rid of that. Like, I mean, I don't know what years you guys graduated high school. But
we're like, so I'm like 23. He's like 22. So we're like.
okay, so I'm just a few years older than you guys.
Exactly, yeah.
But like, no, I think they got rid of it. Like around the time I was in middle school, I stopped seeing the rectangle pizza and the circle pizza.
Yeah.
Like I think, yo, I'm gonna take this hoodie off. Cause
do your thing. Yeah, it's hot in here.
Like around that time, I think they got rid of it because that's when they started changing the whole school lunch plans and all that. Like I remember they used to have the Snapple vending machines and it went away and all that.
I think it was because of Michelle Obama, wasn't it?
Oh, that absolutely is because of Michelle Obama. You think the Bush administration cares if the kids are fat?
She took the only thing we had to go.
Yeah, she made us like fucking like take that one day in the summer off or something like that. Remember?
Wait, what was that?
Like Nickelodeon would just like.
Oh, like go out and play.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
shit was
that didn't matter
annoying,
for us.
bro.
Like most kids, we
You
were
just like
staying
go on
inside.
Disney or
Come on.
something.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't even know what I was doing. I might have actually went outside and played.
Yeah. But So the second question that I had, like before, like the break, was so kind of like the cartoons that like inspired your art, because in your bio you said it says that like certain cartoons have like inspired your art, and I'm guessing it's kind of like the whole '90s Nickelodeon thing with the very kind of like bombastic animation, or like
I was more of a Cartoon Network kid than a Nickelodeon, but definitely Nickelodeon for sure. But from kids, I mean, I grew up watching a lot of Ed, and Eddie. Crazy story. The creative Courage the Cowardly Dog was my parents' landlord.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Wait, he's from New York?
I mean, he was living in Queens for a minute.
Really?
Yeah, he was my parents' landlord. They only found out he created the show because we was like young and we was watching the show. Just like, that owner looks familiar. Wait, wasn't that guy our landlord?
Yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
But I mean, looking back, I'd say it was a French film that really, I was watching, like, I'm looking, it's like, yo, I think I subconsciously drew from this movie a lot. It's called,
what's the name
it's called Triplets of Belleville.
And it's a French film?
It's a French animated movie. There's no dialogue in it.
Oh.
But it's really dope. I recommend you check it out. Sometimes on YouTube you can get lucky. You can watch a free crop version. I recommend watching the full.
So, like, did you watch it, like, as a kid or as like a teenager?
I watched it as a kid because my mother's French, so anytime something French is around, she makes a big deal about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I remember we went to the city. What's that movie theater on Houston?
I have no idea, bro.
There's a movie theater on Houston. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah.
Like slightly off of Soho and slightly off of Lafayette. I think it's called Sunshine Theater or something like that. Yeah. Like we went there to go see it.
Okay, cool.
But I was just like, because I watched it again recently. I'm watching like, I think I might have borrowed from this movie and I realized.
Yeah. Okay, then I definitely want to check it out later then.
It's a good like hour and 10-minute movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny too. But
Awesome. So, like, are you like watching any like cartoons, anime? Like, are you like drawing any inspiration from like any media that you're like watching these days, or?
I was rewatching The Good, the Bad, the Ugly recently, so I think I might do the Mexican standoff. This one of each of them, just. But as for cartoons, I don't really watch anything. Like, to be honest, they canceled one of my favorite cartoons just recently.
What cartoon?
Venture Brothers.
Oh, wait, it was still running? I didn't know it was still running.
They take mad long to do it because you see the animation in later seasons. It's outstanding, but they just canceled it.
Oh, damn, I'm sorry to hear that.
It happens. I just, it just sucks when they cancel a show and they don't bring closure.
That's the worst. Yeah.
But, I mean, something like that's probably going to get picked up by someone.
Yeah, probably by like Netflix or like whatever. Hulu, maybe, something like that.
Could be.
Probably HBO Max because they're getting all the adult animation now. It's all going to HBO Max.
Oh, okay, I see.
So that's why this Boondocks ain't on Hulu no more. South Park ain't on Hulu no more.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just fuck with all the streaming platforms.
I mean,
sign up for one, then you gotta fucking quit.
Yeah, it's like sort of like the interest that people had for streaming was because like you didn't have to pay, all those services for that. But now with so many streaming services, you're paying the same fucking amount.
Yeah.
I think it's so stupid that The Simpsons is the hardest shit to watch.
Yeah.
All I gotta do if I want to watch is get that Disney Plus, but I'm not gonna do that.
Nah, it's not worth it. I mean, I've been like you probably know, kind of like the conversation or people say that like The Simpsons were like only good for like the first 5 or 7 seasons, and then like everything else is like bad, or like you just see the quality go down and down and down. Like, what do you think about that?
I heard it's that episode where you find out that Skinner ain't really Skinner.
Yeah,
that's like when all the fluid, somewhat narrative just went out the window.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like bound to happen with a show that's been on for like 30 years now. Like, come on, let's like end it. Like, we were talking about The Simpsons and like whatever, but like speaking of like kind of like The Simpsons and that episode you were like telling us about with like Marge kind of like roasting Trump. Yeah, it was like something like that. Like, what do you think art's role in like political discussion is? It's a big question, yeah.
I stay out of politics because, like, to me, I see it's like, okay, both sides are evil. They're both looking after their wallets at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, call a spade. Like, yo, this is good for our pockets. Like,
okay.
But I mean, art can be powerful, and art can be used to make statements and all that. Like, my father was telling me about some piece in Russia where a guy just did a white canvas because he was doing this back in the USSR.
Mm-hmm.
And the canvas was white is because this is all the USSR allows me to say.
Ooh, wow.
So like you might look at that canvas and be like, oh, this guy didn't do shit, but the meaning behind it is what makes the piece.
Yeah.
So it's like that with any type of art medium. If there's a meaning behind it and it's told well, then good job. But if it's just there for the sake of being there,
yeah. I kind of feel like these days, like, you know, kind of like modern art in like a lot of ways can, or like, you know, like you kind of like seen those like pieces about like somebody putting like a straw down like in the middle of like a museum or like an art exhibit, and like people think it's like, you know, like a real exhibition or like something like that, or just like kind of like with like modern art, there's a lot of like it's like lost its meaning in a sense, where like it's just become too absurd and like whatnot. So like what do you think about like what is modern art? You know, your opinion, and like, do you think it's going in a positive or negative direction from like a holistic point of view, or?
I mean, I'm an old soul, so I appreciate stuff in the past way more than in the present. But I do have to say this: if you can sell, not like physically sell, but sell the idea of whatever bullshit you're pushing, you know, you're an artist. Like it's like, here's some broken plates. It's beautiful. Like, like, if you can do that, that's an art in itself. Like
sales.
Exactly. It's like sometimes being an artist, you gotta be a salesman. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta talk your way. It's like me and my friends had an idea of a joke. We had a friend of ours that went to Portugal, and we had an idea. It's like, okay, we're gonna try to get in time out in New York. We're gonna do this piece. My friend's name, An American Life, just him. We're just FaceTime each other. He ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But we try to convince him, like, this is the state of modern America, this is the pattern. There's big bullshit behind it.
Yeah.
And just try to sell it. But even though it's nothing. Like, I mean, shit like that happens all the fucking time in the world. If you can push your narrative or bullshit and have people buy into it, just like anything, it's gonna work.
Do you think that like formal training, in a sense of like artistic formal training, learning proper techniques and stuff, is like more and more becoming less important these days for kind of like artists that are coming up, or like new artists like you? Like,
I mean, for someone like me, if I'm in an art show looking at art and I see someone that they did a human being and everything, the proportions are all perfect, I'm like, yo, this motherfucker. Like for me, it's like when I look at someone's art, like I want to be envious of this guy's work.
Right.
Because that's driving me to make me better. You know, and I want to be like, I'm a better artist than this guy. I don't want to see that when I look at someone else's art. So I feel like learning their fundamentals is always important, because there's rules, you know, when it comes to the human form, there's rules, you know. Your eyes are here. Your eyes are in the middle of your face, not up here. Even though the hair makes it seems like it's lower, it's not. Like there's rules to this and that, and proportions and all that, and perspective and all these different things. So I think, I mean, me, I had some fundamental training. I'm not like a master, but I have an idea of what it is. So just even having the idea helps a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you got to learn the rules and then go, like your style is just learning to see like which ones you can turn off and turn on, and that's your style, right?
Like you can't like go into something not knowing the rules.
Exactly.
Like you can't just drive a car and not know how to drive a car. Same thing. It's like you gotta learn certain things. Like some people can just go straight to paper and just do what they gotta do, but most people, they gotta block it out.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, what do you want to leave with?
One more question, if you don't mind. Like, how specifically did you develop your art style? Like, was it like a conscious thing or kind of like an unconscious thing? Like, what was the thought process of like developing this concrete style that you have now?
I guess I started fucking around with it, I'd say around 14, 15. I didn't start doing eyes. I would just draw like a slit across and like make it part of the brow or the forehead where the eyes would be, and the nose would start there. But it wasn't until I was in the 11th grade. I was like a history book reporter, and the teacher wanted to draw a portrait of a figure from the Civil War. I chose John Brown. I did a portrait of John Brown in the style that I do now. And actually, I'll send you the painting if you want to include it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll send you that painting, but from that moment there, I was doing portraits, and then it broke off to different stuff, different backgrounds and all that. So it's always been evolving, and it always will evolve as I get older. So it doesn't stop, but it's just trial and error, seeing what I can do, seeing what works, what doesn't. But when you have a style, don't stop.
Yeah.
You never, as an artist, there's always more to learn. Like any trade or skill, once you stop being a student, there ain't much to do,
Yeah.
Would you ever set out to make like a fashion brand or anything like that?
What was that?
Like a fashion brand.
Oh, yeah, because do you like have your own brand now? Like, because I saw.
This hat I'm wearing, I designed it, but.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, for me, it's like I wear basic clothes. I'm not like a young guy anymore. I'm not going to be wearing flashy graphic shirts.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to make something that I wouldn't wear.
Okay, I see, yeah.
So it's not my lane. Like, yesterday someone was telling me, like, oh, let's start a t-shirt business. Like, I got different stuff that I want to take care of before I think about that,
Yeah. I mean, it's like definitely great that you like have your priorities so that you're not like taking
too spread out.
Like, yeah, exactly, not too spread out. Yeah.
Yeah, like right now, my priority is to make sure I'm good, like financially, because
Yeah.
this is America, money over everything. Like,
Not only America, this is New York City. I mean,
New York City, but just America in general, man. This is how the country works. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what do you want to leave with? I guess we'd touch base on that.
I don't know. I feel like leaving money over everything is always a good way to end things. But my name's Eugene. You can follow me on Instagram at eugene.art. DM me for commissions. I'm always down to do work. And nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me come out, man.
Yeah, of course.
This was fun, man. I never done this before, so it was fun, man.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.